CMSportsNet presents A Season Lost, High School Lacrosse 2020. Brought to you by Carroll Lynx.
And today we have John Piper, who's the head lacrosse coach at Manchester Valley High School, and two of his players, Gabe Eichler and Ethan Pratt. Hey, guys, and John, this goes out to you first. Talk about how the COVID-19 affected you and what was going on at your school.
Really, it was very impromptu, very abrupt. You know, we were at a scrimmage with at Towson, and we sort of got the word on the way back that Friday would be the last day, and we'd be shut down for 2 weeks. And then, you know, as everybody knows, it kind of got extended from there. It was really, I think, overwhelming for everybody. The uncertainty of the situation, you do the best you can. I myself, I had 3 college students coming back into my house. My wife's a manager at a local grocery store, and she was overwhelmed too with all the changes that went on with that. And so, as a husband, a father, a teacher, and a coach, you just kind of do the best you can to support everybody around you. I really miss the students, the interaction with the students and my players. Missing their youthful energy. So it was, like I said, it was overwhelming.
Did you even get a chance to have like a final meeting with your players, or it just kind of had a?
Yeah, we really, I think it was, we on the bus ride back, we kind of talked a little bit what it was going to be like. Friday, we thought, I guess as a coach, we thought Friday was maybe we'd have a little time, maybe have one last practice, get everybody together. But they basically said everybody had to get on the buses. It was a scramble to get stuff out of lockers, out of the locker room. And, really, I guess when we got back to the locker room from the scrimmage, we just sort of shared the pros and cons, what we were pleased with, and, kind of just sort of embrace the uncertainty and went from there.
And how about you guys? Ethan, how did it affect you?
Well, really, so I wasn't at the Towson scrimmage. And that was our the last hurrah, I guess, for the season because it ended so abruptly. So I felt like I missed out on that, and like school too. It was just a mess trying to do online classes and try to keep a schedule without having that system there for you. It was complicated.
And Gabe, how about yourself?
It was a big deal. I, like Ethan, I wasn't at that scrimmage actually. I sustained a concussion in the previous scrimmage, so I wasn't able to go to that one. And, everything was it's like I hit a brick wall on that Friday. Everything just completely, I hit a U-turn, getting used to the online classes, doing it from home, not being able to play the sport I've been playing my whole life. It was a big turnaround, but you got to do what you got to do.
Hey, Coach, how are you keeping in contact with your players?
I did the best I could. It wasn't probably as much as I would have liked. My teaching responsibilities and then, kind of being a parent took front stage there. But we had set up a Google Classroom and put out some little workouts to try to keep the kids motivated and connected. Some players I had very little contact with, and others I had quite a bit based on their need, really. Some were dealing with it a little harder than others, and it was nice to talk to them and sort of support them versus others where, it's okay, coach, we're good.
What are your plans for your players, especially guys you got coming back?
Right now, a lot of them are excited at the prospect of clubs starting up. Carroll County still kind of pretty shut down, but I know Gabe's with the Hereford Lacrosse Club, and I know they're starting to have practices. There's guys going down into Howard County starting to have practices. Howard County just sent out an email that their summer league is hoping to start after July 4th. So that's some good news there. I know guys are that aren't playing club are looking to do that. There was even a couple seniors thinking about playing in the summer league. They let it up to graduating seniors so they could have sort of their last hurrah as well. So that's kind of it. We're still, like I said, we're still kind of shut down. I coach football as well. We can't even work with students or players right now. Nothing's open.
So what are you guys doing to stay in shape?
Pretty much every day I've been trying to run 2 miles and get my time down for that. And my coach at Goucher sent us our workouts a couple weeks ago, which is like a daily thing that I've been doing as well.
And how about you, Gabe?
I've been doing something similar. I've club practices 3 days a week, so we do a lot of conditioning there. But outside of that, I've tried to been lifting every day and going on longer runs to keep up my endurance to stay in shape as best as possible.
So, guys, how can you have lacrosse practice and try to avoid not catching this virus? What are they doing differently at these practices now?
When we started up, we had to split into 3 separate groups. It was about 3 groups of 7 to 8 players, and we would go to different parts of the field. My team had 2 fields to itself, so
Right.
we would go on complete different sides of the field. We wouldn't even be able to have any contact with each other. We would have to. All the coaches were wearing masks. We were doing defensive work, defensive footwork, shooting, and stick drills. So, everything was really split up. Even when we went on the sidelines to get water breaks and everything, we weren't even allowed to talk or be very close to our players. It was hard to talk to everyone because we were also spread out along the sideline and everything. So it was a big difference going back from what we usually do in high school and usually what we do for club to what we were starting to do then. But luckily now it's all getting back to normal.
Well, John, this is a question for you because you're a coach and you have to get these guys in shape. Can these guys still play and not have these practices, not go against each other and get in games and then go play these multi-game, multi-day tournaments? Or has the tournaments changed where it's just one day, a couple games, and get them in and get them out?
I'm still waiting to hear about how those tournaments are going to be. I know a lot of them got pushed back to August. There's even talk about moving them into the fall, trying to push them back as far as possible to see where we are as a state. And some of that, I think, is going to be up to each state and where they are, what phase they are. I did get an email just today from Randolph-Macon about they're going to have a prospect camp, which kind of caught me off guard because that's not something you're seeing. Usually we're getting inundated with that within our mailbox, but that caught me off guard a little bit. But I think Virginia's probably in a little different state or phase of the recovery versus, Maryland and some of the other states. I know there's talk about maybe the college coaches, it would just be filmed. A lot of this stuff would be filmed and college coaches would be sitting in their offices watching it on their laptop. But I haven't heard as far as, the contact and actual playing the game and the threat of the spread of the virus.
Right.
I know some college coaches have said, maybe the best thing for them to do is just the individual workouts and working on their individual game, whether that's, on a field or in their backyard or whatever. That might even be serve a better purpose.
Gabe, you're a junior, correct?
Yes.
So you feel a little cheated with this because this is the big year for juniors as far as recruiting lacrosse.
Yes, I actually got lucky. I committed to play Division I lacrosse in February. So this past fall, luckily, I got enough film go out and I got the commitment done in February. But everybody else on my team, there's only 3 out of 23 or so kids on my club team that are committed. And, these other 20 kids are going to have a lot of trouble getting new film, getting a good amount of college coaches to come out and watch them. So, I have no idea what's going to come up for them, but I'm wishing them the best.
So where are you going to play next year?
I'm going to the Virginia Military Institute.
Alrighty. And how about you, Ethan? You're senior and you kind of lost out on your senior year, but how are you getting ready for your season coming up?
Well, so I'm playing at Goucher College in Towson, Maryland, and the coach pretty much just gave us our workouts for the summer, and he gave us a list of expectations for what he wants us to be able to do in January when we do step on the field.
Right.
And I've just been trying to meet them and try to excel as best as I can.
John, you coach football?
Yes.
What are you going to do with football or other sports? I mean, because football is a high contact sport. How are you going to handle that in social distancing and the whole bit?
I think that's going to be a challenge. We're not even sure we're having fall sports yet. I know there are a lot of discussions taking place. There's still a lot of unknowns. There's the National Federation of High Schools as well as U.S. Lacrosse and Aspen have put out a whole bunch of, the steps on how to get back to where maybe normal. But, at this point, I think a lot of the ADs and school systems are just looking at how can we make sure the kids are safe, our staff are safe. Now they do recognize the importance of sports as part of the educational program, and they're doing as best they can to try to get it back to normal. Like I said, it's still very much up in the air. They're doing a biweekly evaluation of where we are in the state of Maryland and what we're going to do moving forward.
Right. Hey, Ethan and Gabe, before you started getting back into trying to recondition because your season ended, what were you guys doing when you were just kind of sheltering and couldn't do anything?
So
tell the truth. Tell the truth.
I got you. When the first thing came out that it was 2 weeks, I was like, okay, 2 weeks, we're okay. I'll just go to the gym. And then Larry Hogan, the governor, shut down gyms like that Wednesday. So it was a little heartbreaking to me, and I didn't really know what to do. So I just kind of hung out and didn't do that much. Played video games and just slept.
How much weight did you gain?
I want to say maybe 15 pounds. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, the COVID-15, not the 19.
The COVID-15.
How about you, Gabe?
I was a little bit similar. Initially I was just confused. I had almost no idea what to do. I took those 2 weeks as almost a little mental health relaxer. I watched plenty of TV movies, played a lot of video games. I worked out as much as I could until I got to the point of just boredom, and I found no pleasure in it. But, every morning I just woke up and I was like, wow, today's just going to be exactly like yesterday. What day it was, but time went by and things are getting back to normal now. So,
hey, John, what were your expectations this season for your team?
We were, as coaches, after that Towson scrimmage, we were really excited and pumped up. We had I think we were pretty fortunate. We had 2 scrimmages, and we were really pleased with the development. We had really strong senior leadership. The guys were really tight, and as far as being together and on the same page, we were really excited about the season. So we felt like we had an opportunity to really make a nice run in the season and into playoffs.
Hey, Gabe and Ethan, who did you think was going to be good this year in Carroll County and then possibly in the state?
So every year in the county, it's always like Westminster and Century. Those 2 are pretty big ones. I mean, Manval was in the running for that too, but and then there's all like Falston, Ligonor, Delaney, like in the state are usually pretty good schools.
All right, and Gabe, who did you pick? Who did you think was going to be really good this season?
In county, the same as Ethan said, Century and Westminster are usually the 2 most dominant squads. But outside of our county, teams that looked the best were Hereford, Glenelg, and Linganore, most likely. I thought those 3 teams, just looking at players I knew returning, I thought those 3 teams were going to be pretty good this season.
All right. John, I mean, you started this program as a startup program. What's it like missing a year for you guys? I mean, because some teams have been around for a long period of time. You haven't been around as long, at least not at Manchester Valley. So what's it like taking this year off?
It's really hard to quantify or put a value on missing it. The kids are missing the daily rigors of practice as well as the lessons learned from competitive games. As Gabe and Ethan had said, we play a pretty tough schedule, and there's a lot of opportunity for learning and growth in that, and it's huge in the development of the players. It's I guess everybody's sort of on that same page, nationwide, statewide, but it does set them back a little bit.
What changes do you see in the game? I mean, especially with this still going on until it gets back to, quote, the new normal or the old normal. What changes do you see in the game?
I guess the change is going to be the getting back to normal. What's that going to look like? Like I said before, the National Federation of High Schools and U.S. Lacrosse and some other sports organizations have put steps as far as kind of like Gabe was saying with the practice, small groups, no contact, separated from the field. But I'm not sure, if there aren't any rule changes maybe possibly coming down, it's going to be hard. I mean, they labeled lacrosse as a high risk high risk similar to football because of the contact. So I'm not sure, is it maybe even delay it longer as far as getting back to playing lacrosse and football?
Right. Gabe, what are they going to do with the face-offs? Is that have you heard anything?
I've heard in Delaware, which is where 2 of my tournaments are this summer, that as of now they're going to be doing a coin toss after each goal.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
I find that really idiotic. I mean, I don't find any different. I don't find it any different than playing defense. You're pushing up on the guy. I mean, if you're doing a face-off correctly, you're not going to be facing the guy. You're not going to be looking at him eye to eye anyway. So hopefully, I mean, that's temporary. So hopefully they're going to take back and reconsider their rules. And I'm really praying that I'm going to get to go full-fledged this summer and be able to take as many face-offs as usual.
All right, Ethan, you're a senior. I mean, you're done. Anything you'd like to say to your head coach there while he's here?
All right. So, Coach Piper, so this would have been for senior night, but I just want to say thank you. I feel like without your help and support over the last 4 years, I wouldn't be where I am today, like going to school, playing lacrosse and all that. So just thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm excited for you.
Thank you.
And John, anything you would like to say to Ethan?
Oh, I'm going to miss him. We had a really good relationship. We were able to joke around with each other. I'm going to miss that smile and the goofiness. At the same time, he was a good leader. He led a lot during our off-season trainings, getting ready to the season, and I'm going to miss that leadership. I'm going to miss that smile and that flow, that long hair.
So, John, how do you get ready for football season now? I mean, the training, the conditioning, weightlifting. Is there a plan right now?
Right now, there's nothing. We're trying to encourage the kids to kind of like Gabe and Ethan have been doing, working out on their own. We're looking at the possibility if there's maybe we can bring if there's enough interest the kids to go to a trainer and work out at a trainer. But right now, it's we're kind of in limbo, waiting to hear from higher up what we're going to be allowed to do.
Right. And do they have a time frame for this yet, or is it just kind of waiting?
Like I said before, it's a biweekly reevaluation, I believe, is what we were told. And it's kind of, MPSSA as well as the county athletic directors are just sort of meeting, and the superintendents as well, to decide what can they do, what's going to be safe. So I know there's a big liability issue there. We're even concerned about, bus rides. What's that going to look like? You're putting, 30, 40 guys on a bus. What's that going to be? There's talk about restricted transfer travel. We might only play teams in the county. There is talk about there would be no championship season at the state level as well.
Wow.
It's about to travel early on in fall.
Right. John, can you coach any of these guys during the summer? In summer?
Normally I can. Right now we are not allowed to.
I guess that gets into the litigation and the legal concerns there.
Right. Yeah. They've shut down all schools, and the school properties are shut down for not just for students and school teams, but as well as outside organizations coming in. They can't use our facilities.
Right.
So.
All right, guys, that's about it. Hey, Ethan and Gabe, hey, I know it's a tough season for you guys, especially playing the game and you can't get out there and show what you've done or what you've learned, especially for you, Ethan, as a senior. Gabe, you got next year coming back. That's a good thing for you. Hey, but Ethan, good luck next season at Goucher. John,
thank you.
Good luck during football season, and I'll see you guys around.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you.